But we're going to be moving on because we're just going to bundle these next two topics because this is just like a very pop culture-esque moment, all right? This past Monday night, WWE was in Houston, Texas, home of a lot of famous celebrities, rappers. One in particular is one of the biggest rappers in the world, Mr. Travis Scott. And in addition to that, we saw John Cena, The Rock, and Bad Bunny appear at the Oscars. Even John Cena had a moment where he appeared in the nude, announcing nominees for, I believe, a costume-related nomination. So I wanted to kind of get your opinion on this pop culture WWE integration, especially over the past couple of weeks.
Well, I'm gonna go, I guess, piece by piece. Travis Scott was really random to me, but I couldn't tell if they like just threw him just because he was a rapper and he was probably easy to get into contact with, or was he a fan? But then the second that DX music cued, he became such a little kid. The way he stood up and started throwing up the X, he just had like the most childish smile on his face, and then it just warmed my heart because I just love seeing grown people that you could tell they grew up being wrestling fans, and you just watch like the kid just bleed out of them. I love watching it. It makes me so happy. I love seeing rappers have title belts and stuff like that. I love when rappers drop wrestling bars. I love when they show. No, seriously, I love when they come out and they're standing beside whatever wrestler that they're representing sometimes, and they're just hyped with them, like as if it's their entrance to. Like I don't know. It's just cute. It's really cute. So I'm not a huge fan of Travis Scott as an individual, especially with that whole Astro World thing. But it was just a genuine wholesome moment to see him get hyped while he was at the show, to see his backstage interaction with Jey Uso or whatnot. He just looked like he was just happy to be there. And I like when celebrities come out and they seem like they're pretty humble and happy for the opportunity to be invited out to the WWE. So, I mean, it's cool, but it's nothing new for WWE to integrate pop culture. I mean, it's always been an ongoing thing. Now, it's very interesting that you mentioned John Cena because for some reason it blew up on social media that he was butt-ass naked delivering, I guess, the Oscar or something. He was in character, clearly.
Right.
My first thought was tying it over to the OnlyFans that was dropped from like 2-3 weeks ago. And then somebody had informed me that it was part of his character and he's just really committed to the role. But for some reason, the internet just made this into a whole Illuminati talk yet again and said that he sold his soul to the devil. And I'm just like, isn't he just playing a role? Like, he's John Cena. You know, he can't keep the WWE like polish and sheen on forever, and it's not like we haven't seen this man naked in some other movies. He was naked in the Peacemaker, not a movie, the show Peacemaker. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's already been slowly but surely growing out of his box of just looking, you know, constantly PG. And it's not like he started off PG. Like, this man has some wild ass bars back in his Thugonomics days, all right? So to me, I wasn't gagging. I did gag at the OnlyFans because John, let's talk about this. Especially when I saw the captions to the OnlyFans post, I'm like, yo, John, you gotta chill out. But for him to be presenting naked, I thought it was comedic. I thought it was funny. I thought it was cool. Obviously, he's long gone and moved on from WWE. He's just being a comedy act and he's just enjoying whatever he's doing, whatever role. I mean, it seemed like he was having fun. But I love the fact that WWE is kind of becoming more and more mainstream by interacting, I guess, more with bigger stages, bigger companies, bigger stars. Again, I guess it kind of circles back to our previous points on other shows, but it's as if wrestling is getting cool again.
Yeah. Agreed.
I think on the topic of the Oscars, we have to mention Megan Thee Stallion and Sasha Banks being at the anime convention.
Yeah, very true.
That's what really put me over. Oh my God, seeing them beside one another, because we already got Bianca next to Megan Thee Stallion a couple of years ago, and that popped me, because those are both my girls. Like, Sasha and Megan, them both anime fans, you know, I loved it. And they presented Sasha to not only, you know, just be an actor, they definitely doubled down on her being a professional wrestler. It's cool. It's cool to see wrestling become mainstream again. I love it. I adore it. Let's do more of it. But I would like to see WWE like actually incorporate more female rappers into, you know, their show. I always feel like they always select the male rapper, which I have no issue with. But like, get Megan on if you see she's already cool with Sasha and she's already cool with Bianca. And she had her few interactions. Like, get some of the girls out. Like, I want to see that. Get that in a WrestleMania entrance. I'm excited to see that. You know, I feel like that will also reel in some views. But what do you think about it?
First of all, I want to first capitalize off of what you said. Stop waiting until things become safe to make it a part of your product. We always see this, right? Like, because at one point, male rappers weren't really in WWE either until it was considered safe and not taboo. And I feel like because of the nature of women in rap and the content matter, which is irrelevant, but I feel like they're waiting for it to get safe. And while they're waiting for it to get safe, they're missing out on very, 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 very important potential partnerships, whether it's Megan, whether it's Cardi. They have a chance to do so much because clearly these are very, 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 very big public figures who have had wrestling a part of their lives since they were children. So just loop them in. Stop waiting until things become safe to make them a part of your product. Now, moving on to everything else. When it comes to the John Cena naked costume aspect, he was presenting for best costume design, by the way, which is the reason why he came out naked. But the reason why it turns out that he came out naked was to draw attention to the gender pay gap in Hollywood, specifically amongst Hollywood costume designers for years. So and it's mostly kind of in relation to what is the Costume Designers Guild. Their pay equity slogan is "You're naked without us." So while he was being funny and he was doing a little kiki and a little ha ha, this was actually to draw attention to actually a much bigger issue. And I think that that's super admirable of him. And I love that he's standing up for something when he's not necessarily required to.
Was this said in the interview?
So this was said in an article. Y'all could check IndieWire right now and look that up. It says naked John Cena.
How poor that because social media is mad at him.
How Poor Things and John Cena made the 2024 Oscars about the gender pay gap. So, you know, and then obviously with The Rock, like The Rock is Hollywood. He's one of the highest paid figures ever in Hollywood. So it's no surprise that he was there. Bad Bunny, another major pivotal entertainment figure who was at the Oscars. But the fact that we're seeing more and more figures from WWE at the Oscars shows how pivotal this Nick Khan involvement is, because it's the fact that he has been involved in the entertainment industry that allows WWE and entertainment to connect the way that it's connecting right now. As it pertains to Travis Scott is a big wrestling fan. In fact, his label and his brand is called Cactus Jack, obviously inspired by the great Mick Foley. He has been a very, very vocal wrestling fan. And, you know, it's kind of in alignment with his brand. If you go to his shows, you can tell that it's a very high energy, high octane environment. So the fact that he was at a wrestling show doesn't surprise me at all. It's a part of who he is. He's just a hype, rageful guy. And I love that for him. But yeah, like it's really, it's always great to see wrestling and pop culture collide. Especially when there are people that look like us involved. And when it pertains to Mercedes and Megan, I love the fact that Mercedes is putting herself out there, not just as a pro wrestler, but as an overall entertainment figure. And she's doing it without the WWE platform. I think we've kind of talked about this before, but I felt like there was this stigma where you had to go to WWE if you wanted to be the wrestler who crosses over. But now Mercedes being in AEW, being seen at these conventions, is saying, listen, I could cross over with or without you. That's not the point. I'm Mercedes Moné. I'm going to be money everywhere I go, and I am the platform, not y'all. So I think that the fact that Mercedes is being seen in all these lights and in all these ways is just very, very important, especially for wrestlers who are under the perception that you have to be in WWE in order to cross over to mainstream media. But yeah, that is about that. So if y'all have any thoughts about wrestling and pop culture, let us know in the comments below.